Episode 4 of Rings of Power Season 2. I am abandoning my format because this episode was rough. Of course, I don't much care for the Hartfords being still alive. I'm not surprised they are, because why would I be surprised? I don't enjoy them. I don't think they're entertaining. And them falling 2 feet and then saying we lost them was a scene that made my eyes roll in my head, as well as the Rufio-looking hobbit, which I don't care. I don't care about the clear implications of romance between those two characters. I just kept rolling my eyes during their scenes. Living in holes in the ground seems unnatural, made me physically angry. That line was dumb, and I did not like it. I am interested in the unnamed Dark Wizard because I'm interested in a Dark Wizard character, but just continuing to call it the Dark Wizard and no one knowing this character's name does not give me good vibes. Feels like you're trying to force a mystery where there doesn't need to be one. You have us theorizing about who this character is, which it feels like it's going to be an original character. I don't know how it could not be. Tom Bombadil. Disappointing. I get trying to match his aesthetic, but he shouldn't. His aesthetic shouldn't match the rest of the world. He should be wearing bright colors. I get the Goldberry reference, but not actually having Goldberry be there was weird and out of place to me. Here's the thing. Between Tom Bombadil and the Barrow-wights, a lot of this episode felt like just trying to include things that were missing from the Fellowship, which feels out of place in this story about a different age and different characters. Tom having a history of meeting with wizards to inspire them does not feel right for his character. Tom should be this character wrapped in mystery who is uninvolved in the events of the world because he doesn't care. That's the one thing we know about him, is he's so busy living life that the rest of this doesn't matter to him. And having him be this sort of mentor character to the stranger does not feel right to me. And it feels like trying to put labels on this character that inherently just don't understand the character. I was excited to see Barrow-wights. I don't think the Barrow-wight design was unique or interesting. I like Barrow-wights. I think they're cool. I, again, rolled my eyes. Like, it hurt. Elrond saying, according to lore, you could have found a better way to do that. I promise you could have found a better way to do that. Choreography in the fight with the Barrow-wights also felt really slow and boring, especially in the context of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. When they get to the ends, there's a severed arm, and the elf goes, "This wasn't done by mortal man." It's a severed arm. Like, here's the other thing. If it was more than that, doesn't matter, because I couldn't see anything because the lighting is so bad. Again, we're doing the romance thing, the forced romance thing, but between Isildur and the girl, and she's like, "Oh, you've got something on his face. Let me clean your face with my equally dirty." Trio between the elf, whose name I can't remember, Isildur, and the girl, whose name I can't remember, which says something about the writing, in my opinion. Zero chemistry in that group. Moving over to Galadriel, why she was horrified by the idea of Elrond stopping Sauron first over her own life boggles my mind, because her whole entire purpose in the first season was bringing Sauron down. So her being like, you'd put taking Sauron down over my life. Yeah, that shouldn't upset you. The Ents look nice. I don't understand why they were keeping people in a cage when they were indiscriminately killing them before. That doesn't make sense to me. The loud bowstring was really funny. It wasn't meant to be, but it was really funny. My last complaint is in the last scene where Galadriel's going to fight the orcs, and there are just 40 orcs just standing there, letting her kill them one at a time. Like, it's a bad action scene cliche. Is a bunch of characters just standing there, and there are ways to make it interesting. Have the character fight multiple characters at once. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring did really well with Aragorn going up against a bunch of Uruk-hai at once and having multiple elements to the fight and stuff. But like, the fight scene with Galadriel and the orcs it wasn't entertaining because there's just so many orcs just standing here with my torch, watching her kill like 2 at a time. Like, oh man, I want it to be good, but that wasn't it. It was not a dynamic fight and stuff. So yeah, overall, this episode was just a lot of cool references that just felt like copy-pasted things that belong somewhere else, and bad writing and character character moments and action. So my hopes are down. We'll see what episode 5 has in store, but that is this week's rant about episode 4 of the Rings of Power season 2. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments or argue my points or argue your points or whatever. And as always, may you walk under blue skies.